welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi, our founder Jack Roser, and myself today are speaking with three wonderful young people from the Lamont Junior Tea Party, and this is our back to school edition, and we were talking about how you all are going to be the change agents.
Well, not so much that. We got into that a bit, but we left this last thing with about how we get educated about what's going on in this country. These three fellas right here are better educated on the issues of the day than a lot of adults I talk to. I mean, a lot of them are into this.
Sad commentary, Jack.
There's a lot of them that think that Obama is saving their life and that they are victims of somebody else, and Obama is a beneficiary person. Just give him more power and more taxes, and he's going to make it all good. Well, most of us that are adults know some of that. A lot of them don't know it at all. They think that Obama is really saving them from being victims. So how did you guys get so smart, and how are you going to learn more?
Well, I guess we got educated by talk radio. Believe it or not, I remember when I was younger, my dad would always have the radio on in the car, and I just hear, what's really going on compared to the television. And, my parents really helped to educate me a lot. I would come back from school and I would kind of be skeptical. It's good to be skeptical. So, and then I would ask them and they would tell me what's really going on. And, that's how I got educated. And then later on, I did my own research on all this stuff too as well. So, you just got to stay sharp on the subjects. You guys want?
What about you, Dave?
My dad, me and he, the two of us often talk politics, actually.
How old were you when you started talking politics?
I think around 10 when we started having conversations about it, but I listened to him my whole life, and he watches Fox News all the time.
Okay.
So sometimes I just sit down and watch it with him.
Good family time together. What about you, Ed?
I guess Fox News and
Now, Ed, you've only been here for 2 years. Did you speak English before you came here?
No, not really.
So
you did? You learned English this well?
Yeah.
Wow, you're smart.
Boy, you young...
I couldn't do that.
Well, now, do you find it frustrating to be watching what's going on in America today, and besides the voice you have with your Tea Party group, you're not able to vote some of these things in?
Wait, he can vote in Chicago. They take it.
You don't even have to be alive for that.
Do you find this frustrating that you can't even have your voting voices heard yet, and they're burdening you all with all of this debt and all this policy that's potentially harmful to the American way of life? And we can just go around the table and answer. Dave, why don't you start?
Well, it frustrates me, but the thing is, I kind of think our generation, we need to be informed first, because you'll have some people who will oppose these, but all these people who are voting for Obama and all these other senators, liberals, they'll have their children, and those children will vote with them.
Well, you're saying that the liberals' children will be liberal?
Probably.
How can you change that, though?
But we can inform them.
Let me stick an oar in the water here. We're putting a burden on them alone. But actually, the burden ought to go on all the adults, the stupid people, the majority that voted for Obama, who's now revealed as no kind of a leader at all. What in Tunket was the matter with the voting public in America? They put a guy in that you don't know whether he's a Muslim or a Christian. You don't know whether he's an Arab or an American. And yet they foisted that off on us. So all the adults have got a lot to learn. And there is something that we're involved in that's good for everybody. And one way to learn something about why America was exceptional, which Obama denies, and a lot of that stuff's brought out in this organization, American Majority. And they have all kinds of lessons that are on the internet that we're working to get this message out in front of young people and older. The information that's in there is about America and why it's great, and also how you go about being an effective person, a public person, a voting person in America, how you get other people to join with you, and you get effective to conquer in an election all of these people that are only interested in making a buck off the taxes, that are employed by the government, and they want to pretend that they're benefiting all of the victims. And we can find that as we have started working with American Majority, and there are some other groups similar to that. But
Morton Blackwell?
Morton Blackwell's Leadership Institute, he's been working with young people for at least 20 years that I've been contributing to him. Morton Blackwell and the Leadership Institute has been working mostly, though, with college level people, which is good in itself. But expanding it to their age group, it's obvious they have the ability to understand what's going on and realize that this locomotive's headed their direction for a train crash. Why should they have to pay for the debts run up by these idiots that spend more money than comes in from taxes and tell the people that they're benefiting them? They aren't benefiting the young folks.
Well, clearly you all are going to be paying for this for a long time unless we put the brakes on this. And when we come back from the break, I do want to hear how y'all feel about us kicking the can down the road when we get back after the break.